Hello, I want to use this short video presentation to talk about an opportunity I had to use collaborative translation in the classroom when I was working as an ELICOS teacher earlier this year. ELICOS, for those who don't know the term, stands for English Language Intensive Courses for Overseas Students. These are courses designed for international students whose IELTS scores are not good enough to gain them direct entry into their university courses. The courses run for 10 weeks and they aim to support the improvement of the students' English while also grounding them in a range of academic skills. The situation as of 2016 is that by far the largest contingent of international students in Australia is from China. At Monash, the proportion of Chinese students undertaking ELICOS courses is roughly 99%. This puts many current ELICOS teachers at Monash in the relatively uncommon position of teaching to a single language group. Now, this opens the door to the use of collaborative translation in the classroom, where students collectively function as the source collaborators and the teacher acts as the target collaborator. So for this activity, I sourced a short excerpt of Chinese text of about 100 words that was originally used in Chinese language courses at the university. I divided the class into two medium-sized working groups and gave each student a copy of the text. I then asked the students to explain to me sentence by sentence what the text says. I would then write the translation on the whiteboard, and in situations where the grammar of the translation could be improved, I would use the standard techniques we use in SALTO of eliciting and modelling the grammar to come up with an agreed translation. So this process allowed the students to feel a lot more relaxed than normal and to work with increased confidence in their language abilities. It also allowed for a range of personalised responses from the students, which the strict curriculum wouldn't normally allow. For example, when the students were reading through the text for the first time, I gauged a sort of degree of students were claiming there was a mistake in it, and I didn't know the content of the text at this point, so I had to take their word for it. And I said, "Well, look, as we translate the text, let me know when it comes up, and we'll discuss it." So as we begin to translate the text, it was clear that it's just basically a short autobiographical piece by someone detailing their family history and their migration history. It was the final sentence of the text that the students had an issue with. The sentence as we translated it reads, "I have many relatives living overseas. Some of them live in Hong Kong, others live in America and Europe." At this point, the students were at great pains to point out to me that Hong Kong is a part of China and is therefore not overseas. It took me a while to unpack the significance of what they were arguing. Many students were proceeding on the assumption that the text was written from the perspective of someone in China, and that the identification of Hong Kong as a foreign territory was a clear breach of national principle. Even explaining that the perspective was from Australia, many students remained sceptical, and some argued that the text, by listing Hong Kong alongside Europe and America, implied that Hong Kong has some kind of identity as an independent political entity. This was the first time in the 10-week course that I'd heard the students express any sense of political identity. It just became clear to me that how much the teaching of English in courses like this tends towards the suppression of political engagement and the suppression of national identity. And I think it was interesting that collaborative translation actually brought some of these questions to the surface, brought some of these ideas to the surface. So, in addition to it being a technique that, can help build the students' language confidence, it's also something that, sort of acknowledges their identity within the context of their own culture.